Hey guys, as you can probably tell from where I'm stood, I'm back at the coast today and I'm continuing my hunt for a lens that I can keep on my camera 99% of the time and pretty much use as my main driver for everything that I do with photography and video. So I've got with me the Sony 24-70 2.8 G Master, and I'm heading over to a little spot I've had on my radar for probably over a year now. And so no better way to test this lens out. Let's see what we can do, see if we can get any photos and come to a conclusion about this bad boy. I'll explain why I've chosen to test this lens in a little bit, and hopefully you can sort of use my thought process next time you need to pick a lens, or if you're trying to have less gear but gear that you use constantly, which is definitely my goal because I'm very minimal when it comes to camera gear. I'd rather have less gear than loads of gear that I don't really pick up that often. So I'll share my thought process, but right now there's some people down there on the beach and a nice little blue windbreaker, so I'm just taking a few shots of that. Like I say, this lens is big, like it's heavy as well, so that's my first conclusion. So I'm just going to grab a few shots of these guys down here, shooting a 3.2, and we've got Bamburgh Castle in the background, which looks like a nice sort of silhouette. Going to get a really wide shot here. See if we can get one with some nice reeds and stuff. Make sure my focus point is on those people. That one there, right there, is really nice. They kind of stood as a free. I'm already kind of seeing the edits that I'm going to like on these shots as well, so that's good. So I very rarely head off on a shoot with more than 1 to 2 lenses. For the last 5 years or so, I've pretty much kept a 16-35 on my camera 24/7. Obviously, when something different pops up that I definitely need to change my focal length for, I will swap my lens out, but pretty much most of what I've done for photography and video over the past 5 years has literally been on one single lens. The problem I've ran into in the last year or so with my go-to lens being a 16-35mm, especially as I've grown and matured as a photographer, I've noticed that a huge majority of the photos I'm taking nowadays are either at the top end of that lens at 35mm, or I'm constantly just jumping into the APS-C mode to get to sort of 50mm and above. Not only are you getting a massive quality drop on those photos, it also kind of, let's face it, just points to the fact that you probably just need a lens with a lot more focal range. So I guess what I'm trying to say, long story short, is that my everyday lens, and something that I should probably have on my camera 90% of the time, nowadays is probably more suited to a 24-70 or something similar anyway, where I've still got a little bit of room at the wide end at 24 if I need it. I do like this shot here with Holy Island in the background as a silhouette and all of this grassy sort of area in the foreground, nice and blurred out, and then a bit of beach in the middle ground. So I'm going to shoot this image here landscape. So I'm going to position Holy Island sort of on the horizon and right on the top right hand side cross when we're talking rule of thirds, and then we've got all of this foreground blur for the grassy reedy bits. There is actually a couple of dog walkers coming up this beach to the left of me here, so I'm going to hang around in classic distant fashion. So I'll frame something up as they're walking now. I just bumped into a nice friendly gentleman who's in charge of sort of protecting and counting all the wildlife, birds, seals up this end of the beach, and unfortunately the part that I was going to go to and the shot that I had in my mind is all cornered off for the nesting season and the breeding season. So I'm going to totally respect those rules. I'm not going to bother venturing off and scaring nesting birds. So he gave me a little pointer of what time is best to come back in the year when they open it all up again, and I should be able to get some shots then. But I'm glad I've walked all the way along here anyway, because it's given me a good idea of where I need to park, where I need to go, and where I need to walk for when I do get the shot. The sky over there now, man, looks really, really cool. It's a real shame I couldn't get up there today because the conditions would have been so good. Tempted to take a photo of the sky for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Just the sky, nothing else. Just because it looks cool. Tell you what, should we fake it? Right, no one will ever know, guys. No one will ever know. 10 seconds, I'm gonna run over there. Ready? 1, 2, oh shit, I clicked record. 1, 2, 3, go. Hopefully that worked. If not, I'm not running again, so you can do one. Yeah, this is really nice. I like this a lot. There's even the guy in the frame over there. So I've just swung round to the back of Bamborough Lighthouse here. Get a few more shots with this lens and sort of finish up the day. If you're wondering why I've got my hood up, it's to guard my hair from the thousands of flies, as per usual at this time of year. Now obviously there is a Mark II version of this lens, and it's smaller and lighter and all those shenanigans and better in general, but we're talking anywhere between £500 to £1,000 more expensive, depending on whether you get it brand new or used. All right, we're back in the office now. I just finished up editing those images from the day. If you're somebody that watches my videos just for the sake of it, then I appreciate it immensely. But if you clicked on this video because you are interested in the lens, I've got a few takeaways from the day shooting with it. All round general overall opinion, incredible. The photos, colors, depth, bokeh, all of that good stuff coming out of this lens are absolutely stunning. The autofocusing is fast, deadly silent, and super reactive, which is very, very handy. I also love that there's a little lock button on the side here, and as far as features go, I know that might be a little bit underwhelming, but if you're somebody who likes to go out and lock yourself off down to a certain focal length so you could go out for the day, lock it at 35mm, lock it at 50, lock it at 70, anything like that, and challenge yourself to only shoot at that focal length for the day, which is something I do like to do, so that is a really nice feature to have. I'm not really going to bang on about the specs and all the nerdy stuff when it comes to this lens, because one, that's not my style, and two, I'd rather just see someone out using it and photos being taken with it than somebody sat behind a desk reading a script. I will say, however, after using it for a day, I think I would be swayed to pay a little bit more for the Mark II, the smaller, lighter version of the lens, and of course it's a little bit sharper and those stuff, but that's saying a lot coming from me, because I normally wouldn't be swayed to pay more money for something that's only a little bit of an upgrade. But if you're wanting to keep your footprint small, then this possibly might not be the lens for you. That's going to be it from me in this one, guys. I really appreciate you watching. More videos coming soon. Hit the sub button if you enjoyed, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.